Good morning. I don't know if you're ready for this. I don't know if I'm ready for it either. I was just listening to the Prophet Gregory. Yes, he has a YouTube channel. What's Gregory famous for? Denigrating the Bible. He's ignorant of it. He has judged himself unworthy of it, and so he's too busy putting it down. Now, Gregory, if you tune into this video, read the Bible, because everything you're talking about's in there. Yeah. No, I do not invest. I do not follow your strategies. I don't have the money for that. I don't have the time for it. I can't handle the stress anyway. I just have my own little world to manage, and you can see it's pretty messy in the background. I've been doing some house cleaning. I cleaned half of the tile floor. It worked pretty good this morning. And I'm going to be pumping iron, so I had to get my nutrition in me and get everything laid out and get ready. I'm not laid out and ready yet myself. Got my robe on. Every prophet's got to have their robe on. I hate it when you people call me a prophet. Why? Because that's not what I am. I don't hear voices telling me, Yahweh tells you to say this, buddy, or that, or else. But I'll tell you, if I was a prophet, I'd be right in the footsteps of Jonah, because I don't think you people are worth saving out there. When I look overall at this society, I'd have to say, we got it coming. We deserve everything Yahweh wants to give us. Well, you all want something for nothing out there. The libtards are deluded. That's their delusion. Somebody's going to give me something for nothing. No, man. Suckers born every minute. But then you so-called conservatives are frickin' psychotic. You're so far out of touch with reality, it's not funny. Nice thing about Gregory Mannarino, he points out the puppet show. He points it out in spades. He really understands it. And I'll tell you, it's quite a show going on there in D.C. I do not like what I'm seeing. I do not like my awareness. It's very uncomfortable, so I'm going to share that discomfort with you. I'm so generous in giving, so let me give you that discomfort. I was kicked off of Facebook, basically, for the last time, because I'm not going to go back on. I might have to, but I don't want to. Excuse me. Cleaning materials, Windex and this degreaser. The floor looks better. I think I've been, and I got down on my hands and knees to get to the grout, because I didn't want this stuff settling into the grout and staining it. It's already got stains in the grout. I don't want to redo anything. It's livable. It's fine for me. I do need to brush my teeth, because that means I follow up with Navage. I like the Navage system. I highly recommend it. I've been doing detoxing and all kinds of supplementation. My blood pressure is getting so far under control, I have to shed some blood pressure medications, and I'm not done yet. My head is still light even after discontinuing one. I'm losing a little bit of weight. I don't like that much, but it's what it is. I'm not on the adjunctive testosterone anymore, which was probably prematurely aging. But yes, I have several major health conditions. I've had them for a long time. My family never understood what I was dealing with. Even when my doctor says, for Christ's sake, don't they understand what you're dealing with? That was back in 2010. Oh, hell no. They never really thought of me very much at all, except I was a nuisance because I could see things and tell them things, and they didn't want to know anything. They didn't want to see the truth and know the truth. But I can tell you this, I have a man who's supposed to be my brother. We hunted together, we got pictures together, but he's not functioned as a brother, and not only that, he doesn't even know me. He really doesn't know who I am. He thinks he does. He has this horrible projection, this very negative projection he tries to put off on me. And he sells this projection to other people. So He's caused me some problems, but he's caused himself some problems through all of that. So I don't want to get into that. I don't want to reveal my hand. Let me put it this way. I have looked out for others all my life. I'm going to look out for myself just a little bit this one time, and I'm fed up with that little asshole. I'm tired of him. I'm tired of what he's done, how he's set me up in the family for failure because I was so gullible and so helpful to him. But that's another matter. A lot of it's going to be coming out in the court of law. Criminal court, not just civil court. There's other civil matters too involved. But anyway, I'm revealing too much of the hand. Should I say hands? Because it's so complicated. What do I want you to do? Well, of course, I want you to buy my Bible. And I want you to sit and I want you to read it. I don't think you're ready to hear the truth. When I tell you what I see, my perspectives, which hopefully they're not entirely right because the stuff scares me. And then my visions and my dreams, which have occurred over time that I couldn't make sense of, that make sense today, I'm afraid to reveal that stuff to you. It is scary. The warning I was given decades ago, the warnings I was given decades ago were scary. They were terrorizing me. They were horrible. So, where are we today? We're living in a clown show. You have two parties pretending that they're enemies working together against the American people. It's just like in the Middle East, you have two enemies. Well, they pretend they're enemies, and they're actually relatives of each other. And at the highest levels, they're working in secret against their enemy, which is us, the United States, the people that, well, occupy the United States corporation against their will, the Americans. And they are going to destroy the Americans. They call us Americans. They know what we are. They know what we're about. They also know we're the people of the book. Most people here in the continent don't know that. And even the people that go to the churches, even in the Bible study in which I partake regularly, they don't seem to get that message. They don't seem to understand that. I try to tell them as best I can, but I'm tired. I probably sound like a broken record to them. But when our nation was founded, actually, before our nation was founded, we were targeted for extermination. The whole nation was set up and planned way in advance. So I'm way ahead of myself. How did I get kicked off Facebook? I said something that was audacious, and they couldn't have it on Facebook. But it was so audacious, I think they should have left it. If it wasn't that hot of a topic, if it wasn't such a concern, then why did they say, we've locked your account because we found suspicious activity? Oh, hell, it was just me acting up, interpreting the Bible in the most extreme way possible, applying it. Applied Bible is scary stuff, especially when somebody talks it in a way that, I think one woman says, I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or if you're really being sincere. Folks, they use the Bible. They mimic the Bible. They mirror it as much as possible to get you to swallow everything hook, line, and sinker. And their Donald Trump is part of the whole damn scheme. And Joseph Robinette Biden, who's been dead for 3 years, I think, he's part of it. They're all players in this horrible game in which you're the enemy. You and I are the enemy. You wonder who's trying to kill us? It ain't Putin. It ain't the Russians. It's our own government. It's our own Federal Reserve. It's the people who claim they're citizens of this country, who refuse to be real members of this country, who have allegiance to their father, the devil. Yeah, I know. You don't believe he exists. That's part of the plan. We don't want you thinking he really exists. He does. Yahweh really exists. What I said was the most audacious thing I could come up with, because I heard that they had a surprise plan for us on Christmas Day. I heard this back in October. I got to thinking, what's the most audacious, wicked surprise those guys could pull off? Book of Revelations. 144,000 virgins dressed in white, claiming they'd never been with a woman, singing on Mount Zion. And so what did I say? Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Don't be shocked if you get up Christmas morning and the word is in, the news is in. There's 144,000 Jews, men, dressed in white on Mount Zion, claiming they've never been with a woman, mind you, pledging allegiance to their new Messiah. And who would that be? Why, none other than the man that gave them their new capital of Jerusalem, and none other than the man that stole the Golan Heights from Syria and gave them what now is Trump Heights. The man that they said is whatever that fellow is, Darius or whoever it was that brought the that allowed the Jews to go back to rebuild the temple. They called him that, and they put him on the damn coin and compared him to it. And then the Jews, the rabbis themselves, came out and said he's their Messiah. Trump will have a major role. I love that. Role. Oh, the part. He won the part. He's an actor. He's got a part in the play. All right. What's the play? Yeah, he's got a major role in the messianic complex the Jews have about themselves being their own messiahs. And you say he's not a Jew. I say he always was, but of course some people say, oh, in 2017 he converted. You know, his daughter convinced him to convert. Come on, folks. Where you been? The family. Family's a little different than what you think. A lot different when I think of Ivanka, who wears the pants in her family, and that weird dude she's married to that's so effeminate. Ivanka's so frickin' masculine. Oh, she's not bad looking. She's pretty damn tall. But I swear that's the frame of a man I'm looking at. Huh. Come to think of it, the Trumps themselves look like they might be mixed up too. Oh, there's a wonderful statue out these days. It's of a gold man and a gold woman, and they're naked. I don't know if this is life size or a small to scale, but it's a couple, and the man is a little overweight and he's a transgender, and the woman is a little on the thin side, and she's a transgender. Wow, folks, they do this stuff in front of your eyes. They do this in front of our eyes so that we will not see it. They do it so that we'll go, oh, that couldn't possibly be true. No, there's no way it is. But you want to know who the Antichrist is? Then turn to Marina Abramovich. You know, that spirit-cooking woman from New York City. She told us a half a dozen times who he was and what he was in the Satanic Church. He was at their lowest level is the high level in the Satanic Church. So he was like level boom 5. A magician, a magi, just like Simon the Sorcerer. Simon Magnet is what Pastor Wiki liked to call him, who was in the spirit of Cain, the gall of bitterness and all that Cain had going on. Yeah, it's in Acts. Go look it up. He was the first pope, the first bishop of Rome. Simon Peter, the prophet, never made it there. That was Paul that went to Rome. And he was crucified. Yes, I know this. I was educated by the Jesuits. I know. Now you're going to go around and say, Dr. Kent's a Jesuit. Dr. Kent's a Jesuit. He's a Jesuit. Yeah, I got educated at Gonzaga University, and I actually went to Florence, where I sat in some amazing lectures that told me about my family. I didn't even realize what the heck was in front of me. Dr. Elizabeth Aranzula was wonderful. I know she's been divorced. I think she's still alive. She was not that much older than myself, so I think she's still alive. She's in England. I wish I could get a hold of Dr. Elizabeth Aranzula, but I don't know her maiden name. Her doctorate was in English. She was a tall woman, and She was 28 years old at the time. I remember because I was turning 21. So she's not even 80 years old. I paid attention to her. She was so smart. She delivered everything so well. I couldn't even take notes. Every word of hers meant something to me. I was fixated upon her. I did find myself, she had my rapt attention. Now, was I attracted to her? Well, she wasn't unattractive, but she was a married woman. And back then, we just didn't look at married women except as married women. And we related to them pretty much in the context and the presence of their husbands, just out of respect. Of course, there's not much respect in today's America. I didn't grow up in today's America. So Dr. Elizabeth Aranzula told me about my family indirectly. I wonder, I would love to ask Dr. Aranzula, did you know that was my family? Did you know that I was that closely related to the man who really wrote the Shakespearean plays and produced the King James, oversaw the production of the King James Bible? I didn't know that at the time. And I'll tell you this, I went to the party, the Christmas party. We all had to go to the Christmas party. I mean, there might have been 100 students there in Florence, 100 Americans at the Pensiones. And she introduced me to her husband and says, this is the student I've been telling you about. And at that moment, I wanted to go hide and crawl under a rock because I realized she had been doting on me. I don't even think she was conscious of it herself. And this man did not want to meet this student he had heard so much about. And I was taller than he was as well, which I don't think he appreciated that as much. And, well, anyway, she divorced him with good cause. I'm not going to go into that. Jesuit priest shared that with me. And she had reason to divorce him. If Dr. Aranzula's out there, the New World Order book by A.T. Stills cited your lecture that I attended, and he failed to give you credit. I always wanted to write a book, and I wanted to give you credit, but I also wanted to pass it before you to get approval to make sure I had it right, because it's been a long time. 50 years. Long time, baby. Yeah, I know. Hard to believe half a century's passed. Dr. Mrs. Aranzula. A woman with high standards. Too bad her husband couldn't measure up to those. I feel for her having to go through that. You know, at that age, a woman divorcing has very little chance of pairing off with anybody else. Marina Abramovich identified Trump as the Antichrist. Before that, there was a gentleman whose family signed the Declaration of Independence, along with a member of my family. He was from the Carolinas. He identified them before as the Antichrist before anybody else did. I think he's one of the Antichrists. I think there are many Antichrists. I think Elon Musk is an Antichrist, and right now I think he's the number one slave driver on the planet. Why do I say Elon Musk is a slave driver? Well, he wants to recruit you into slave driving as well. Yes, he wants you to get into the lithium business. You know, libtards are so damn stupid. They don't realize that what they're espousing is more slavery in Africa. Have you seen the conditions those children live in Africa who are mining lithium? They're all for the children. They're all for the people. They're all for goody this, goody that. Feel good this, feel good that. Social justice warriors. But yet here they are, worshiping Elon Musk's creation. A horrible battery that, if irradiated, will poison the planet for hundreds of thousands of years. It never should have been allowed to be built. I think the man is evil. I think his family's evil. And he's trying to recruit you so you can expand the slavery in Africa. Get more children enslaved, working to death before they're 20 years old in those mines, I guess that's what you want to call that stuff. And then have you seen the open pit places where they process lithium and what it does to the wildlife? I think you ought to throw your electric vehicle away. Actually, I think you should use it, but you need to stop buying them completely. You know, I bought a wonderful, wonderful vacuum cleaner, but I would ding it because the battery technology is not that good. But I'll bet you anything there's lithium in it. And I bought other things with lithium in those as well. So, yes, I'm guilty of partaking of that myself. So, yeah, I told you I'm a hypocrite. And I love being a hypocrite, but at least I catch myself. But I will not be putting lithium batteries in my cars or in my motorhome. I'm not going to be buying lithium batteries if I can avoid. Yes, there's lithium in the cell phones, but maybe I won't be buying another one. Lithium needs to be boycotted completely. It's just a toxic material. It's no good for the planet. It certainly isn't good for the people living near those open pit, whatever the hell you call those things, where they sift it out and refine it. I mean, the birds can't fly over it without dying. They don't have to get into it. They just have to fly over it. The fumes kill the damn birds. No, he never should have been allowed to do that. But he and his family have special dispensations from the god of this planet, Satan. I think he's pretty closely related. He dressed up like Satan, one of his Halloween costumes. Looked like it fit him perfectly. Have you seen his mother? Have you heard the report of the nanny that took care of him? No, he's not the most evil man. Elon Musk isn't the most evil man. Of course, that's reserved for Donald John Trump. Or if you ask my sister, that would be me, yours truly. She always called me the Antichrist and everything else. What a horrible sister. Not a sister at all. But one thing I can say is she's consistent. She wanted me dead when we were children, 5, 6 years old. She wanted me dead. She wanted me dead when we were teenagers and interfered with my life. And she wants me dead today. Back off. Okay. I wonder what I bought this time. That's the nice thing about having memory problems. Every day is Christmas. No, I'm doing better. I'm detoxing. I'm not giving up. I will. Good watch. Good girl. I do not discourage her. I bought this breed for a reason, because the Earth civilization's coming apart. She loves her job. You should see her tail wag. I mean, she's just loving it. The tail's up in the air. She knows what she's doing and what she's about, and she protects me. She's a real sweetheart. But inside the house, it's like, oh man, you're going to submit completely. You better. Okay. Quiet. I don't think I have to sign for this. And I'm not going to interrupt the video. You're more important to me than whatever the hell I'm getting delivered. They dropped it off. Good. Must be the Amazon delivery I signed up for. It's actually a day early, I think. It's okay. Good girl, come. Come here. Up. Oh, yeah. Oh. I feel like a little boy. She washes my face. That's one of the nicest things about dogs. You go back to feeling like a child again when they wash your face, because you can't stop them very well. You know they're going to do it no matter what. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Wants to taste me before she eats me, right? Oh, good girl. Off. I think this is number 182 or 183. I don't have a very good name for this one. I don't know what to call it. I mean, there's all kinds of things I can put for clickbait up there. But these people read the Bible, folks. They abide by certain rules and laws. They know the Bible better than we do. They abide by the rules and laws, and they're kicking our asses. They're winning the battle on the earth for the earth. They deserve to rule. We don't deserve it. Why? Well, we put the Bible, the scriptures from us, which means we're not worthy, so we judge ourselves unworthy. That's what it says in the Bible itself. And because of that, you don't know Western civilization. You don't know your history. You don't know the stories. You don't have any inkling of what the truth is. You're blind, you're deaf, and you're dumb. All of our founding fathers were educated in the Bible, including those who were agnostic, including those who didn't want anything to do with God. They had read the Bible. They knew it. So they were fully informed as well. But today, you ain't informed at all. By My Bible is the best out there. We correct the errors of Ptolemy II, which was according to plan, by the way. Yahweh even wrote about that through one of his prophets. I think it was 300 or 500 years before Ptolemy took Yahweh's name out of the Greek Bible. When he was producing the Greek Septuagint, he took Yahweh's name out of the Bible about 274, 275 BC. We put that back in the Bible. Now, I had a dream and a vision last night about the name. It had an extra syllable on it. Yavanien. I didn't like it when I heard it because it reminds me of the people that argue that it shouldn't be Yahweh, it should be Yahvah. All right. I don't think that's right. When you buy my Bible, the appendix is in there. It'll explain to you why we use the name Yahweh. It'll also explain why we use Yeshua, not Yeshua. If it doesn't do that, then ask me. I'll look up my notes in the back of my Bible and I'll tell you. We took the name out of the Bible. We have it today. You need to call upon his name. You need to return to Yahweh. What do I like about using the name Yahweh? You know, it says you're not supposed to take the Lord's name in vain, cuss him. Well, I get a new start in life because now I know his proper name. So does that mean I'm forgiven for all the times I said all that other stuff that you would find offensive if I said it right now? I don't know. You tell me. That's one license I like to have. I'm going to skip this call. Okay. I want you to buy my Bibles. I want you to sit down and read those. You need to understand what's going on. And in case you're wondering if I had to vote today for Biden or Trump, it would be for Trump. However, I believe that the only way we win is to turn to Yahweh, not to Trump. And I believe that we have to hold Trump's feet to the fire. We have to hold him fully accountable. Do we tell him he's the Antichrist? Well, that's pretty damn offensive, really. But I think we tell him that Yahweh's in charge, and he's going to do what Yahweh wants and do Yahweh's will. And he's going to live up to all those promises that they made during that first term. That COINTEL, that COINTELPRO program they ran on us patriots. Yeah, I don't trust Trump. I just don't. Not fully. But I also don't think that's Joseph Biden. I think he passed away 3 years ago. Could be him. I don't think so. You need to understand we're being played to the hilt. What did Yahshua, what did the Son say? He warned us. He gave us a 2-part warning. It's in the Bible twice, meaning it's a double witness, which means pay attention to this. He wants you to learn this. Number 1, and I'll use the Old English syntax, if you don't mind. I've read the King James Version more than the proper name version. Spent more time in it. Be not deceived. What does that mean? Be not deceived. Be not deceived. Don't be fooled. Don't be conned. And the second part of that warning was, sorry folks, hold your ground. What does that mean? Hold your ground. Stand in the square foot you now occupy? Is that your ground? Well, yeah, that's your place on the earth at the moment. That means defend your life. Hold your ground. Yahweh blesses self-defense, not rebellion. What else does hold your ground mean? Hold your ground means hold on to your beliefs. But you got to continue to grow and continue to read and build that Holy Spirit so you can overcome the brainwashing of their churches. That's right. They own these churches and took it over. They own the governments. They own the churches. Most of the Bible translators. What are those places that they train those pastors up at? Seminaries. They've owned that for at least a decade, at least a century. Sorry, 2 centuries. Well, a century and a half probably. And then how long have they owned in the education system? Remember, out of the 3 evil ones, the triad, the trinity of evil. No, it's not called that in the Bible. I'm calling it that. The trinity of evil. The 3 demons, like frogs, came out of the mouths of the dragon, the false prophet, the beast. That's what they were. And so your government is your enemy. One of my visions a long time ago, these governments, I do not remember this one very well, but these governments were basically at a table, a game table. And they played this board game. Yeah, just a simple board game. However, the board game dictated to each country how many of their own soldiers they were going to kill. So to be fair, they played this board game, and then they killed their own troops because they had agreed to the rules of the game. Pawns in the Game is a fantastic book. Admiral William Guy Carr, His Majesty's Navy Intelligence Service, was approached in 1911 to join the World Revolution. He stayed long enough to ferret it out. It was like General Smedley Butler. He was recruited by Prescott Bush to take the country down. And he stayed with it long enough to be able to reveal it to the congressmen. But what he didn't realize is they were already in on it. The senators and congressmen were all for this thing. Folks, your enemy is in Washington, D.C. Washington, District of Criminals. It's not even part of America. It's a separate jurisdiction. You like my videos? Well, a lot of people watching them, but they're not subscribing. I can't blame you. I'd be afraid to subscribe and get my name on this list too. But here I am. The more honest we are, the more open we are, the more we talk about this, including on the phone lines, the more we text about this, the more we Google about the Bible, the more the evil ones realize that they're losing. And they will pull out the nukes if they have to. Don't kid yourself. They can't wait for a bloodbath. They're setting it all up right now. They got us at each other's throats. Your FBI has got informants on both sides, antagonizing all parties against each other. That's what the FBI's job is. Well, other than babysitting congressmen and senators so they don't get their asses in trouble. And, well, covering up for the CIA so the CIA can get away with assassinating presidents. Yeah, that's pretty much what your FBI is about. It's to fight organized crime? No, it is organized crime. It's not a constitutional organizational. We could just dissolve it. Well, I'd actually take them all into custody and debrief every one of them and find out who the hell is really a patriot, and then preserve all those records and go through those over the next decades, because that's what it's going to take to sort things out. Remember what the Bible said to me. I hope it says this to you too. It was the NIV version that said to me, love, truth, and justice. Without the truth, you're not going to be able to administer justice. We are really set up. We are really screwed. The odds are that we aren't going to have an election, that we're going to have a physical bloodbath and not just this financial bloodbath that's going on now. What do I think you should do? Circle the wagons, get the hell out of the big cities, and do not trust your government. Don't even trust your school board. Don't trust any of these corporate governments. They're not organic governments. That includes that central government that lies in D.C. and pretends that they have jurisdiction over us when they don't. You see, that's how come they get away with their shit, is because they know it's not a legitimate government. Oh, I miss my friend Wayne. Somebody got busted, 80 years old. They're going to sentence him for illegally bringing in a foreign species. The Marco Polo, should call it an elephant, really. It's the biggest ram on the earth. It's like the males go up to 300 pounds, and it's about 6 foot across in the horns. I mean, they get up that big. Well, they're over 5 feet. And when I first became aware of those, watching them run in their herds was just magnificent. Wow. I don't think they run in their herds hardly anymore. But this guy brought over one of those, and he was going to raise it. I guess he raised one, and he was going to put it on a ranch in Texas so hunters could pay to hunt these sheep. And I wish Wayne Stackhouse was around. Best man I ever knew. Why? Because Wayne would be able to tell me and answer my question. Why is it so illegal to bring that into the country? Why did they make that a law? I mean, there's got to be a victim for there to be a crime. So where's the victim there? I mean, are we at risk that sheep will take over the nation? It'll eat all the grass and no other animal can survive? Nah. I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, I'm certain there's good common sense reasons for the law. Well, they wouldn't just make up a law, would they? And they wouldn't just, they wouldn't lie to us ever. You know that. Yahweh bless.